Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Christmassy Trades of the Week with myself and no other than Keith Sullivan. Now, we are about to get started to give you what is happening in the market, what are you going to look out for, and not only that, but also, is it time to buy cryptos or is it time to sell? You will find out in today's Trades of the Week. Now, before we get started as well, I do want to acknowledge, my background does not look as Christmassy as yours, Keith. What have you guys been doing? It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's this was our Facebook Live backdrop. It looks pretty Christmassy, I must say. All we're missing is an elf and Santa. So I think we need to hire an elf and Santa for the next Trades of the Week. Or I could dress up as one.
Comment below, what do you guys think about their background there in UK? I think it looks amazing, but comment below, what do you think? And not only that, make sure, he mentioned the Facebook Live, make sure you head over to our Facebook group. I think you can press the link somewhere around here and you can join it, right? Join our Facebook group, get some very exclusive content, but not only that, watch a 90-minute live session, which is recorded now, but it was live, with Keith, where he goes through a lot of questions about the crypto and trading the stock market as well, which is awesome. So that being said, let's dive into it. Why don't you take us through what's been happening last week here, Keith? I think it looks really solid here. We had actually a 3.5% on bets. That's not bad.
No, it's pretty good. So we've had an interesting week. And as we said on the last two trades of the week, a lot of our short positions are now playing out. So last week we moved bets down to 3.5%. And now, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because we made 3.5%, but we've now been taken out of this at a good profit. The next one that we have moved our stop loss or been taken down out of is LFG. That's it. So if we have a look at LFG, we moved our stop loss to 1% and we got a massive red candle yesterday, which now has taken us out of our profit at 1%, which is always good. So I think for them to, it's a moo, right? Because we didn't really moo last week.
It's a Christmassy moo, Keith.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Moo. That was a Christmassy moo, I must say. So the last one here was Lima Foxtrot Greenland. All right, so that was a ticker for that. Now, then we also have some other ones there. We have CHPT, where we moved down the stop loss to 1%. We did that a while ago, I think. I think we were very close to get stopped out here, but not quite. So we're waiting to see what happens here. So that's exciting. And then we have JWN. Now, this looks really good, Keith. What have you done here to make this such a good trade?
I can't say I've done it. We didn't have a crystal ball, but with JWN, we've had a nice 4%. Okay, so we've moved our stop loss down now to lock 4% in. Remember, the goal for trading is cut your losses short, but allow your profits to run. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're moving our stop loss down as the market was rallying downwards and locking in profit. Now, obviously, we had a great trade here because the market gapped. So this is when the market closed on one evening at one price and reopened the next day at another price because there was out of hours trading. So this has obviously gone with our favor and we've made a good profit here. So 4% can't go wrong. Yeah, I think this is good for us.
Yeah, this is amazing. And this just shows you that when you are trading and investing, you do need to be hedged. It's not enough just to trade in one direction. You do need to trade in both. It doesn't matter what happens. If we have a stock market crash, so what? You'll make money like we're doing here when we now got the correction. But we'll see what happens in the bigger picture. But do make sure you are hedged. And the last two, one is WHD, nothing to do there, a bit in profit. And then LGIH is no trade, it just continued up. It never took us in. So we're canceling this trade. Yes, they're pressing the X here, but cancel that trade, very important. And then before we go into the two new ones for today, what is happening in the market, Keith? Is there anything we need to be worried about? Maybe we can look at the Dow Jones even to see if there's anything exciting that is happening.
100%. So in regards to the market, the news is pretty much the same. It's still two major driving forces, which is driving the market right now. That's your inflation, which actually has been accelerating as quick as it did in 1982 for the first time. Now, what does that mean? Inflation basically is the costs for goods and services. So now it's becoming more expensive for Americans to get something they would have got a couple of months ago, even a year ago. And that is damaging for the economy. So it's really pushing the Federal Reserve into a corner. And what do they have to do? There's two things. Number one, they can carry on increasing stimulus packages and quantitative easing. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think the corner that they've been pushed into is more about interest rates. Now, to combat inflation, naturally, they will increase interest rates, which means it's more expensive to borrow money. So then people are not spending money, they're actually saving money, which doesn't grow the economy, it actually shrinks the economy. So I think that's the corner that they're pushed into. And their plan was Q3, Q4 2022 to increase the interest rates. Now, with how quick inflation is increasing, I think this might happen a lot sooner. We don't know. The second thing that is driving the market is obviously the COVID variant. Now, everyone's worried about the COVID variant. The pandemic might start again. Well, actually, it hasn't stopped, but it might accelerate and we might see another lockdown. So everyone is scared. But on the positive side, we have one of the biggest institutions in America, JP Morgan, who are very positive for 2022. They believe the pandemic is nearly over with the vaccine program, how effective the vaccines are, and also the rehabilitation against the COVID pandemic. So with that, JP Morgan believed that 2022 is going to be a much more stronger year than it was on 21 and 2020. So it means that the economy could carry on growing. So it's just the two sides of the coin. Number one, it's negative news about inflation. Number two, JP Morgan are very positive. So no one knows what is really going to happen at the minute. So there is still fear in the market. But if we look at the Dow Jones, okay, which is the US 30, the 30 largest companies, we are still seeing that this market is making higher highs, higher lows. Now, what does that show us? It shows us that the market is still bullish. And currently, the market may look to make an all-time high once again, okay, which is very positive for us, as with the pandemic and the fear, the market is still rallying up. So there is still confidence that this market is sustainable and for investors to invest back into the market. Now, obviously, it's going to be a slower month because it is December. Institutions naturally close off their trades, take money off the table. So we may see a couple of trades break trend, okay, and continue lower. But in regards to the overall market structure, it's very, very positive for a good start to 2022. So let's see who's right. Let's see if the analysis are right in regards to inflation being damaging, or if JP Morgan are right, where it's going to be a competition. But Dennis, do you have anything else to add on that?
No, I think just the solution here is to always be hedged, right? We never know what's going to happen. And what could happen as well, which just happens out of the blue, is a black swan event, which is something like when COVID first hit, right? Everyone panicked. It just came out of the blue. And that could drive any market to a crash or something like that. Now, we don't see anything of that happening just yet, but who knows, right? We always need to be prepared, which is why we need to be hedged. So I do like, though, it's very important that we are getting these bigger movements down of 5-10% that we're getting every now and then, because that just gets sellers out of the market, new buyers can come in, and that is a sign of a very healthy market. What's not healthy is when something goes up way too fast, because then it also comes down a lot faster as well. So that's the only thing just keep an eye on. So this is very good that this is happening. So we're in quite a few short ones. So we're making money going down. We moved our stop loss. But for that reason, we're adding 2 long ones. Nova is in the solar and energy industry, so NOVA. And I think they're looking really good. They have a good upward trending support. And not only that, I think that the industry has taken quite of a hit and we could see a rebound. So I think the probabilities are good on this one. And the second one is MRK, Merck and Company. Now, as you will see, this is really interesting as a buffalo, but also as actually an upward trending buffalo as well. So I know you, Keith, you placed an order as an upward trending buffalo, and you can choose here because this is a good company, which means we are likely to make a good percentage on this, even as a VCA. So you can absolutely do both. Very good. So these are the two ones. And we do like this. We do like the last here, the last green candle here. Would you like those, Keith?
Yes. Yeah. So as Dennis says, always wait for a green candle on that support level to give us that confirmation of buying. It's copyrighted by Dennis. So that's the Dennis rule here at Investment Mastery.
All right, awesome. But let's dive into cryptos, right? So stocks looks good. We are good. We are well hedged. We are making really good profits, as you will see in the results side of things. But now let's move over to cryptos. Now, Bitcoin is looking interesting. And many of you might be asking yourself, are we crashing? What is happening? And the same here, we had a correction of 32, 34, 35%. Here we had another one, 25%. Over here, we had a correction of 54%. So these are the same thing. They're very healthy, very, very healthy that we are getting these corrections for the simple reason that it allows new buyers to enter and come into the market. So what do we see with Bitcoin? Well, there's three options here. Number one, we might bounce from the previous resistance as we are having here. Previous resistance turned into support. Looks good. We just let's see. We just need to see if it will hold. All right. So we are about to find out. Now, the second option, if we do break below this, we're very likely to go down to this zone here, which is around the 40,000 mark. And if we break that down to the 30,000 mark, right, where we have some support and resistance levels. So we don't have a crystal ball. The best thing to do is to follow the CCA and small cap strategy. But in the longer term, we are still very, very bullish. We are still creating higher highs and higher lows in the shorter term. And not only that, we're creating that in the longer term as well. So it's looking really good for cryptos. We are in this giant consolidation phase at the moment. So we'll see how long the price will consolidate, but there's some great money to be made here as well. But do make sure you follow the strategies because we are getting some really good entry points as well. And why are we bullish on this? Well, actually a Swiss bank, right? There's some good news coming out in the crypto market as well. A Swiss bank, one of the largest in Europe, has announced that they are now going to get some crypto services into their portfolio. And they're adding Ethereum to the portfolio, which is the second biggest crypto, which makes sense. But it is becoming more mainstream cryptos. And as we can see throughout this year, it's definitely here to stay. And also the Sandbox, they partner with another platform, which is Block Space. So Sandbox is a really, really interesting crypto. I think we actually entered that. And if we haven't, we really should. It's actually not on our list here. We are in Sandbox. So do make sure you do your research on Sandbox. It's one of the biggest metaverses out there. And currently down around 44% from the high, which is incredible, of course. So do make sure you do your research on this. I'm actually doing this right here. I'm adding this officially because I think Sandbox is a really, really interesting one that we should be looking at. So I'm definitely adding this. So do make sure you have a look at this. It's currently down around 44%. And this was the one where Marcus he bought a piece of land on this. Have you bought any land, Keith?
So I haven't bought any land on Sandbox, but it's interesting because with Sandbox, you can create your own NFTs. You can create your own characters for people to utilize to build their own levels and worlds. So that's something I'm looking at more, is building the NFT for Sandbox. Now, will I say I'll become a multi-millionaire from that? No, I just think it's something, not yet. But do you know what? It's just something interesting and it's fun to do, right? You create characters, you can create your own world, and soon enough for me personally, I will buy my own piece of land. And then, hopefully we'll get big as Adidas, because Adidas
a piece of land cost you like 150, 15,000, even more, right? Dollars. And you can almost buy a house. You can buy a house by the beach from Bali. I'd rather do that, to be honest. But, we'll see how it develops. But it's such a rapid growing industry. But that's one of the big news here. And I know Keith has actually created some NFTs as well, which is quite interesting. So comment below, what do you think about this metaverse thing? And what do you think about this new world that is being built? Are you getting into metaverses? Are you looking into it? So comment below, what do you think about this new world? I think it's a little bit scary. And besides from them, Bitcoin and the other ones here, do make sure you look at these biggest blockchains like Solana is down a lot. We took some really good profits on Solana, but currently Solana is down 40% from the high. Some really good entry points into all of these. XRP, right? Down so much from the high, around 45%. Cardano, God knows what they're doing, but down 61%. And currently here, we are actually looking at a longer term upward trend here. So let's see if we get the reversal for that. But there's some really good entry points here. So for those of you who said, that you feel the FOMO, you feel fear of missing out, you do want to get into the crypto market. Well, all I have to say to you is that you will always get a chance. There will always be times when you can get into the market. And now is such a time. Link is down 53% from the high. This is all of the ones we're getting into. I have given you now massive buying opportunities. Mana is another one, down 50% from the high as well. Another metaverse, Decentraland. But there are some other ones here as well that we are excited about. And we're really excited about all of these. So do make sure you look through your list. And Matic actually announced that they are really going for it to be the layer 2 solution to help Ethereum scale. And what they announced a $500 million deal to really win the scaling race of Ethereum, because there's many competitors there. So I think definitely Matic is one to look into, and it's down 30% at the moment as well. And one of the reasons we are really bullish is because the number of Bitcoin addresses that are actually transferring Bitcoin to an exchange to sell, because as long as they keep it in the wallet, they can't really sell. It's at a 1-year low. So even though the prices are falling, it still looks very, very promising and bullish. So even though we might fall a little bit more in the shorter term, we're still very bullish in the longer term. So the two new we are adding today then is AR. This is Arweave. Arweave is actually a data storage crypto for Solana, which is one of the biggest cryptos and networks in the world. And Arweave, so if Solana grows, Arweave will grow, and they will really benefit from the growth from Solana. And they're working with other projects and blockchains as well, but they are storing all the data from Solana, for example. So Arweave looks very, very interesting. And the last one then, of course, will be the sandbox, the Decentraland, the metaverse. The metaverse, which is an alternative reality. We'll see how that's going to be built over the coming years. Is there anything you would like to add crypto-wise before we move into the very exciting topics of VCAs?
So in regards to crypto, I think you've hit the nail on the head, Dennis. Remember, the famous quote by Warren Buffett, and it's one that I live by, is when others are fearful, it's our time to be greedy. It's the accumulation period of cryptocurrencies because everyone is selling because they're seeing the market drop. But if we have a look and we see that Bitcoin going to exchanges is at a 1-year all-time low, is showing the whales are holding on to Bitcoin, which is in anticipation of another rally up. And I think that is one great indication for us that we could just be seeing a healthy pullback. As Dennis said, nothing can be parabolic. Nothing can just go up forever. We have to see it go up, pull back, find new buyers, and carry on higher. So I do see we may look to make a new all-time high again. Okay, now I haven't got a crystal ball. When this is going to happen, we just don't know. But just remember, it is time to accumulate. So the one thing that I said to our gold group is make sure you have all of your entries, okay, already in the market. So you are liquid enough. If that coin does drop, you are able to buy, and bring that average cost down. So that's the only thing I will leave you with the crypto market. But we're still massively bullish, and we're expecting it to carry on up. This isn't a short-term wealth game for us. Bitcoin, crypto, it's going to be around for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Okay, so it's just starting.
Yeah, maybe even longer. And we're adding, so speaking of new entries, we're adding a new entry here, minus 47% on FTT. Axie Infinity, we're adding another one at minus 35%. And Cadena, we're adding a new entry, and not only on 54%, but even on 64% as well. So we're adding even one more entry here around the minus 64%. So do make sure you look over your positions, right? Because there's some really good new entries to be had. The same on Kusama, down 45%. And SM, sorry, yeah, Kusama, I think that is. And then Filecoin as well, minus 64%. So there's some really good entries to be had here, and it's just an amazing opportunity to be able to enter around these prices yet again. So that's cryptos for you. Welcome to cryptos if you're new. And comment below, what do you think about this volatility? Are you getting scared? Are you panicking a little bit? Don't be, right? It's just part of the game, and make sure you follow a strategy to a T. Now let's go into the VCAs, and the only addition we have here is we're adding an entry on AG, First Majestic Silver Corp, at minus 44%. Silver has been hammered over the last couple of weeks, and we'll see if gold and silver will finally break out. But we are hedged, which is why we are in AG as a position. Besides from that, look over your positions. And the one we're adding when it comes to VCAs is MRK, as we added as a Buffalo as well. It's minus 20%. It looks like a good company. They have positive income. They have positive earnings per share over the next 5 years, and a good return on assets and return on equity and investments as well. And they're currently down 20% from the high. And what we like is when strategies are working together here. So we have a good support line, and it's down 20%. Perfect time to enter as a VCA. Anything you would add on this one?
No. So I think in regards to fundamentally, MRK has some strong fundamentals. And the last time that we got into MRK as not just only a Buffalo, but a VCA, we saw a great rally and great growth. Okay. So I think there's two things here. Number one, fundamentally, it looks strong. Number two, the structural approach or the technical approach is on the support level also looks strong as well. So the trend is still intact, and it's 20% down. Putting both together, we should, and I say should, have a profitable position here. It might not be a profitable Buffalo if it breaks the support, but it would definitely be a profitable VCA for us.
Yeah, we are about to find out. Now, before we do anything else, we do need to cover something here, Keith. We do need to look at the results. So here you go, guys. We made 4.5% on Buffalo today. That's why we closed. We're up a lot more. We haven't closed them yet. We just moved our stop loss. There's nothing to do in VCAs more than entering a couple of more times. We took some really good profits over the last couple of weeks. So make sure you look back on the previous trades of the week if you haven't. CCA and small cap, we've been adding to our positions, and hopefully soon again, we will reap the rewards. So I hope you guys enjoyed Trades of the Week this week, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here, and we also really hope that you can create the same Christmas feeling and background as Keith is having, because that is just incredible. Now, the question, of course, is, will Keith grow his bid? Will he become Santa himself? Or will we hire someone for next time? That is the question everyone has on their lips. But do make sure you comment below now are you getting these results, right? Have you gotten this? Soon the end of the year. Do make sure you look over your portfolio. So comment below if you're getting similar results to this as well. So with that being said, everyone, we really hope you enjoyed this, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Trades of the Week.